So hello everyone. Today I'm super happy to be talking to the really sweet and amazing Corona Brady, who is an intuitive coach, and she's a yoga teacher, and she's an energy healer, and she's a really inspiring writer too. So if you haven't checked out her website, you really should go because she's amazing, and she shares very openly about her journey, everything that happens through her yoga journey and how that relates to her life as well. And so Corona has created a program that's called the Creating a Soulful Life, and this is the second time she's running it. So welcome, Corona. We'd love to hear a bit more about your program and about you.
Thanks a million for having me on today, Karina. My program. This is one program that I'm really excited about. It's a program that I ran in March, so I kicked it off in March. So I've run this program once already this year. And I had roughly near around 50 women from all over the world. We really had quite the international group. There was women in France and Italy, and the US, California, Australia, Ireland. It was a wonderful group of women that jumped on board for the first round. And incredible. I personally watched these women go through deep soul transformations. And just, putting the website together last week, getting ready for the launch date, I was just literally nearly in tears reading some of the testimonials. It just, wow, blew me away. So, and I know this program works. I have the proof now, and I'm just excited to be running it again now, and to be running it, for the second time, and going deeper this time because, I've ran it once, so I know it now, and I'll add different elements into it, and I'm excited.
Oh, it sounds amazing, and it's so interesting because that really helps you go deeper when you know the material, and it's like it takes on a life of its own, doesn't it? And it kind of grows if you let it, then it will grow with you and with the people who are in it as well. It's like you're creating it together, like.
Completely. And I think really, and what's great about a program like this is the live calls. So, and I have organized them that we have a live call every 2 weeks. And really it's the questions, the really deep questions that come up in those calls. That just lights me up because, I can share from that space because I've been through everything that these women are journeying through themselves. So, and just the questions that come up are wonderful, and they help everybody else within the group because we all kind of have similar things going on as we start to peel the layers back to get to our true authentic self.
Yeah, that's so true. And live calls are amazing because that's that kind of personal touch, and you really connect. And although it's
That's
online, like we're not in the same physical space, like it's just amazing how connected you feel to the other people.
exactly, yeah.
And
It's beautiful.
it is really beautiful to be a part of that community. And I had the privilege to have a peek at the program when you were creating it, and it was really lovely. And it's really structured, and I find that you really go through all the different steps. So it's really comprehensive, and it's like you start from the beginning and you really move through it. Because I find that when we learn from internet, we pick one piece here and one piece there, and sometimes we don't really know how to put it all together, right? Because there's so much information. So it's really like one step at a time to bring us through that journey.
Yeah, and I'm such a detailed person. Like, I'm all about the details. Sometimes it gets in my way, but it works really well for this program because I have it so structured. And the way I set it up is, you peel one layer back and then we move on to the next. And that's, one thing that kept coming up time and time again from the women was just like the content. It just blew their minds, like, and there was not one part of the program that they were bored with. Everyone said that, it just kept them so engaged, and they learned something new each time at each module. So, and that's great.
Yeah, and the topics are amazing. I really love that too. It's all that great stuff that we all like digging our teeth into, and all the stuff that comes up when we want to live a really soulful and like honest, being honest
Yeah,
with ourselves and being authentic. You can't quite
completely.
get away from that, right?
No. Once you start, that's it. You're on a journey then.
Yeah. And so who do you think this program is for? Like, if you imagine that someone who would like, who would that person be who's like perfect for this program, who can really use it?
Look, this program is for anybody that feels like something is really missing in their life and maybe they can't figure out what that thing is, but they're feeling maybe lost, they're feeling a bit maybe depressed, and they feel like they've no passion, no purpose. Maybe they're stressed out constantly, maybe they're struggling, and maybe they're like seriously wondering, is this all there is to life? Is this really what my life is? Maybe they're caught in the daily grind of just kind of, get up, go to work, and there seems to be no joy, no fun. It's for basically anybody that's in that space.
Oh, that's great because I think that's a lot of people, right? Just doing things, or even people who think they like who have everything they thought they wanted, and then it's still not. There's something still missing, right?
Missing. Maybe they have a good job and they're getting a good salary. Maybe they can, yeah, they have the money, but there's something that's actually missing because all you could have all the external things in the world and you might not be happy.
Hmm.
So this is really about going going deep into the core of what it is that's actually missing in your life, and that's really we really journey deep within on a soul level.
Beautiful. And I think it's really interesting because on your blog you really share your own journey to like living a more and more soulful life as well through your yoga and your traveling. I remember reading a post when you went to India. Like it's just so beautiful because it's like we get to share that journey with you, and so it's always really lovely to see someone who creates a program around what they live, because
Yeah,
it's not really separate. It's I guess what you do in your in your life.
for sure. And for me, authenticity, like I had to learn a huge lesson in authenticity this year, and um, Kundalini yoga I credit for my own transformation. It's just been wow. I'm just so grateful for the science that Yogi Bhajan has brought to the West, and yeah, it's just really pushed me to just walk and talk my truth. And that's really what I try to do then in the work that I do with others. I try to bring that in and teach and coach and speak from that space.
Beautiful. And so I would love for you to share the how you created this program, like how that came to you, the idea.
Yes. So I guess, because I've been on this journey for so long, like I've always been interested in natural therapies and stuff, like from a really young age. I think like when I was 17, 18, like, I was just really interested in reflexology and stuff like that. And I kind of delved into yoga at a young age as well. And yeah, I was always interested in like, those personal development books, Louise L. Hay, and just always reading different inspirational books like that. And it was really moving over here to Australia. I'm here nearly 9 years. And that's really when my yoga journey took off, and I started practicing it, committing to it, daily practice, and then started teaching yoga. And once I started teaching yoga, everything started to change. That's when I gave up my corporate banking job because it just did not feel aligned to me. Well, I knew it was never aligned to me, but I felt stuck. I felt like this was all that I could have. The yoga teaching really opened an avenue for me, and then I did some coaching, and I just keep building on that stuff. I'm just a forever like student because I'm always studying. If it's not books, programs, courses, something, I'm there. So like I had this desire for a long time, but I really wanted to share what had really like worked for me, because I had just been on such a journey for these last 10 years or so. And last year I had an idea of creating an online program, but it was very different to the program I've actually created right now. And because the coaching that I used to do was more kind of lifestyle, food and nutritional. And my initial idea was to create an online program like that. And I took myself away last September, October, just on a spiritual retreat for a couple of days up in the Blue Mountains. And it was just a place for me to just, there was no internet, I just had some time to be quiet, be still. And this idea came to me, to create this program, Creating A Soulful Life. And yeah, the deep soulful work, everything that I had kind of learned on my journey to date. And a beautiful thing happened actually, because on the train ride back to Sydney on the Sunday, I literally took out my copy and I mapped out all the modules. It just flowed. It flowed straight out from my heart, and I knew exactly what it was I wanted to create. And yeah, it was incredible actually. I don't have kids yet, but I can imagine this is like creating a baby, because all of it took me like 8 to 9 months in the making, and just going through all those phases. And yeah, this is my baby at the moment.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that moment, you know, when you have that creative spark and it just flows out and you don't have to think about it. It just kind of flows and it's perfect, and usually much better than something you would have thought of if you had forced it. And it feels like it's so easy. Not every part, but that when it just starts.
No. Not every part, no way. There were times when I was pulling my hair out and...
Yeah, I think it's part of that whole process, isn't it? Because you have the idea coming out and then it's like all those steps until you get to the end of it, right?
Yeah. But it's been incredible. I've loved every step of the way. Like I've learned so much about myself, and it's just been amazing, like what I've managed to create from that time.
Ah, beautiful. And so I have one last question, and that's what are the key things that you need to live a soulful life?
So to live a soulful life, I think that you have to, I think the only person that gets in your way of not living a soulful life is you. So your limiting beliefs, your fears, you know, your negative thought patterns, and maybe they stem back to childhood, and maybe you've never really kind of delved deep into them, and maybe you're seeing, things in your life, patterns happening time and time again. Like you have a relationship, but you keep choosing the wrong person. It's quite a destructive relationship. Or maybe it's a job that you're in and you keep choosing the wrong job, and it's because you're not going to the core, you're not going back deep into the core of the issue. And really creating a soulful life, big part of it is really self-love and learning to love that beautiful soul that's within. And it's about really giving yourself permission to shine your light, and not just thinking that, oh well, she can shine her light, she is a certain way. Every single person has light within them, and we're all here to shine our light out to the world, every single one of us.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think that's true too. Sometimes it's so tempting to think, well, she's got it. That's easy for her to say because she's got this or that, right? But it's not for me, when in reality it's for everyone. And we don't always see everyone's journey either.
No, everyone's on their own journey, every single person. And that's something I teach my coaching clients, because it's so easy to look out and look at social media and, see and think that people have this going on and that going on. We're all on a journey. We all have struggles. We all have fears. We all have worries. It wouldn't be life if we didn't.
Yeah, that's true. And it's such a small part of of our lives, right? What we document on social media.
Completely, yeah.
And so I don't know if there's anything you would like to share, maybe about the details for signing up. How can people sign up to your program? When does it start? How long does it go on for? And just some of the practical details before we.
Yeah. So the program kicks off on Monday, the 15th of September. And sorry, I've chosen September because I chose it for a reason. There's a meaning behind it. It's spring in the southern hemisphere, and it's autumn in the northern hemisphere. And this is just a really good time of the year, you know, new beginnings to set intentions. And I also thought it would be a really great time to do it before coming into a brand new year. So it's like really getting you ready to dream big, you know, to prepare you to enter into 2015. And so, yeah, the program kicks off on Monday, the 15th of September, and it runs for 12 weeks. So that's 3 months, and we dive deep. Each week, you know, you receive a yoga video, a meditation, MP3, there's the content, PDF downloadable files, there's the workbooks, which I've received amazing feedback about the workbooks because they really give you deep things to think about areas of your life. You can go really deep with the workbooks. And there's also a little affirmation sheet that I created for each week. So everything has been created to support that week's unit of work. So the yoga video was created to support the content of that week. So is the meditation. So is the affirmations. So everything supports you of that week. I've also thrown in loads of bonuses. So I've added in some EFT, emotional freedom technique videos. I have a wonderful teacher, a NAM yoga teacher, Anastasia, who's based in Sydney, and she's very kindly added in 2 yoga classes for all participants, and they have access to that. And there's also like a cleanse, a soul food cleanse thrown in. And throughout, you know, the 3 months, I just surprise people and throw in, you know, extra goodies here and there. So yeah, it runs for 12 weeks. And if you are really ready to just dive deep, to really shine bright and live a life that you love, this program is for you. You know, if you feel like there's something missing and you can't put your finger on it, this program is for you. It's transformational, and you know, don't just take my word. Jump on over to the website and, you know, really read the testimonials. They're long, they're detailed, and they're quite lengthy testimonials, but read them and witness what the women have already gone through. It's transformational.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Corona. And I encourage you all to go and check out Corona's website, and I'll put the link underneath this video so they can go straight to the website for the program and check it out, and just feel in your heart if this is right for you, because it's like, and sometimes I think it's also just saying yes to one thing and doing that from the beginning till the end, because sometimes we're tempted to do so many different things, but then we get overwhelmed and we don't know where to start, and in the end we don't do much because that's what makes us move forward. It's what we do, right? What we put into action. So doing one thing and really committing to that. And 12 weeks is great, I think, to really have that time as well, because it's not a quick fix, is it?
Well, that's the thing with deep inner work. It's not a quick fix. It takes time. And, you know, the great thing is the live calls, having those catch-ups every 2 weeks. The support in the Facebook group is incredible. Just meeting new people, and, you know, people are real there. You share. There's no judgments. It's really special. So, yeah, you know, have a look at the website, familiarize yourself with the content, and if it feels right, just say yes to you, do it. But only if it feels right in your heart.
Yeah, and I think we know when something is for us, because sometimes we have fears coming up, or we think, oh, I don't know if I can, or is it the right time, can I afford it, all these things. But when it feels right, we can That's what I've done with the programs that I've signed up for. And sometimes it's felt quite like a big leap, but it's always worth it because it's like it's what you're investing in you. So how much is that worth the
Exactly.
time and the effort to invest in yourself to grow, right? Because that kind of seeps into everything in your life afterwards, and it's just so
Every
beautiful.
single day.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, well, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much, Corona, for taking the time. And I'm so excited about your program. I hope that many people will be able to enjoy it and that it will be a beautiful journey once again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. And yeah, see you soon online.
Yeah, see you soon online.